That's right. Whitelist stuff starting now. Yay!
Wait, is that a house out there? yeah, that's a house out there. We have a deep conversation and then Jim comes along and it's all row this and row that. We need a Rubik's Cube. Come on, Sal, make it happen. So much more. We can hang out, chat with you, and even take part in the process. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's so much more. And yeah, when I was thinking, do I? Oh, 10:07. Oh, do you know? That's about time for me to go as well. All right. Well, I'll just I shall finish my story and then I think I'll make my move as well. But yeah, I thought if I'm going to be an active member of the community, the thing to do is to become a streamer. And I had become addicted to Space Engineers by watching Good playing Space Engineers. Whoa! And I'd bought a computer just to play Space Engineers. And because I bought the best computer I could afford to play Space Engineers, I knew it was going to be capable of streaming. And so before the weekend was out, I had researched how to do streaming and stuff, and that weekend I streamed my first Space Engineers episode. Oh, good, got you into it as well, Jim. So yeah, bye Babom. Was it Babom going? Yeah, bye Babom. See you soon. See you tomorrow. Doing Skyrim tomorrow. And Mira will be back tomorrow, probably. Well, I guess we're here forever. And yeah, did my first stream. I actually pinched a headset from the office. It was like one of those little, probably cost them about £2, about £2, a real cheap little headset that you plug into your phone. And it was just so that I had, because I didn't have a microphone or anything. But it worked. I just started off, and then when I'd finished my stream, Twitch said, would you like to put your videos on YouTube? And I said, yeah, why not? And so I did, and I've been making videos ever since. And that's how it all started. And it was all because of that thing about community. But I really, really relate it to the fact that on the way to the funeral, and how, I don't know if I'd have picked up on it at some other time, just being in that. Was that back when I was streaming Prison as an Architect? Yeah, I did. I started doing Space Engineers, and then I think I've been playing Space Engineers, because what I'd do is I'd stream at the weekend and then I'd chop it up into videos for YouTube during the week. And I think I'd done that for about 3 weekends, and then Merry Gamer started playing Prison Architect, and I was absolutely hooked. And I was like, right, I've got to play that game. I want that game. And by that point, I was at that stage where I couldn't play a game without thinking about streaming it. You kind of get into that. I very rarely play games that I'm not either recording or streaming at the same time. I just, yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know what I would do with my life if I wasn't like YouTubing and streaming. I just found that I absolutely loved it. So when did I get into the Nidd group? Also, what's the Nidd origin? I'll tell you the Nidd origin first. Nidd is the Nidd is named after. Jim's got to go on the train home from work. Oh, bye Jim. Come again tomorrow. Playing Skyrim. So the Nidd is named after the River Nidd, which is a joke from a radio series called Sorry I Haven't a Clue, and which Boris really, really liked. Now, I know Boris used to write comedy for, I'm not sure, it was for one of the BBC radio shows. I'm not sure which one, even which radio channel. But Sorry I Haven't a Clue is brilliant. Yeah, love that series. It is fantastic. And so Boris wanted to set up a group that was mainly aimed at people who didn't have a natural group of people to fall into if they wanted to play multiplayer games. So, you know, the older gamers and oh, you got the live episode that they did on DVD. I went to see it in a theatre when it was being recorded a few years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, before I'd ever heard of the Nidd group. Have I Got News for You came on at the theatre near where I was living, and I was just like, oh, I've got to go. Sorry, I Haven't a Clue. It came on at the theatre, and yeah, I just had to go watch it. It was brilliant. Why am I staring at my inventory? I can't even remember what I was doing. Was I emptying it? But yeah, so Boris wanted to set up a group for people who wanted to do multiplayer stuff but didn't have a natural group of friends. And I say older gamers were one of the sort of groups of people he was thinking of. And so he set up the Nidd. So if anyone wanted to play a multiplayer game and didn't have any friends, they could join the Nidd and go play multiplayer games with him. And it grew from there. And I joined the Nidd. The Nidd was less than a year old. I think it had started in May, and I joined just before it got to its 1 year anniversary. Humphrey Littleton. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Comedy genius. And probably didn't realise quite how funny he was. I totally agree. I joined the Nidd because I was playing Space Engineers with Merry Gamer. And because Merry... I was part of Merry's community on YouTube, and he knew that I was streaming Space Engineers. He wanted to do a Space Engineers series himself, and so he'd invited me to join him, which was amazing. I can't describe it. It's really, really weird when you've been, because I'd been watching Merry's videos, Merry and Muckluck. I'd been watching their videos for maybe 2 years at that point before I'd actually started streaming myself, and it was to suddenly go into a game with Merry was like, oh yeah, see you soon, Eki. To actually join them in a game, it was like the TV had opened up and sucked me in. I was suddenly part of this thing that I'd been watching. It's like walking into, like if you were a regular viewer of a soap opera on TV, and then you walked out your front door and you found yourself on the set of the soap opera being one of the stars of the soap opera. It was something bizarre like that. It was like, oh my god, I'm with these people who I've been watching all this time. This is bizarre. I got over that in about half an hour. But it was the most amazing feeling for the first half hour, and then it was just like, you know, playing with Merry after that. And we played for about an hour, and then Boris joined. Boris, yeah, Boris was. I didn't know Boris. Boris had actually subscribed to my channel, and he'd done that maybe a month or two earlier, so I didn't recognise the name when he was introduced. And I had a similar experience. I was nervous as anything when I was invited onto a live stream, and for absolutely no reason. It's just the live stream. Oh, but isn't it a thrill? It's yeah, I don't think I will ever have that. I mean, even if, I don't know, let's say Etho, for example, who, yeah, I've watched now for 4 or 5 years or something like that. If I was suddenly invited to go and play an episode of Minecraft with Etho on a live stream or in a on like go and have a be his helper on one of his Minecraft videos. I don't think that would be quite as exciting as joining Mary on that first multiplayer episode, where I had absolutely no idea how to do multiplayer recordings, or it was just absolutely amazing. But so Boris I didn't know, but Boris had actually sent me a message through YouTube about 3 months earlier, asking me if I wanted to join him and Anubiz, because they were looking for more YouTube players. They were looking for more people who did YouTube to join them in a series. And Boris had put so many links in this message that he'd sent me that that YouTube had marked it as spam, and I didn't know. I'm gonna run out of energy. So I hadn't, because YouTube didn't have a thing that said you've got spam. I just had to go and look for it and found it, and there's and this was long after I discovered that Boris had actually sent me a message many months earlier saying would I like to join him and Anubiz. By that time I'd already met Anubiz, but they joined us in the Merry Gamers. But I was talking on Skype with someone. I knew they were setting up for a stream, so I was about to head off, and with 5 minutes notice I was asked to contribute and stick around. Oh, that's just amazing when that happens. What, me? Okay. I'll finish this story, then I'll get off. I need to get off. It's a long one, it is. Just keep asking questions. So that's how I met Boris. And then as the Merry Friends series sort of reached an end, and Boris, because multiplayer was getting more stable, so Boris and Anubiz wanted to set up the series 2 of the Whitelist, and they were saying, oh, come play in our Whitelist. And then they were saying to me, Boris asked me if I fancied playing, I think it was The Forest was the first thing that I did. That's when I met Apple, and when I met Mia as well. Oh God, I was so afraid of Mia when I met him, because he was like this German guy who just shouted at everybody and made everybody follow the rules. And I knew he was somebody who was very easy upset. But he's absolutely adorable in real life. He's such a sweetie. But yeah, I was so afraid. Because Mia was just a legend. Mia never did any. He never appeared on any recordings. He never did any streaming, anything like that. He was back of house. He set everything up, and he just ran the servers, and he kept the Nidd. He did all the technical stuff for the Nidd, but he didn't actually appear on anything. He didn't want to get involved in that sort of side of it. It was Anubiz telling me that Anubiz wanted to get Mia into some of his videos, because he says that Mia's commentary is just brilliant. Mia has just dropped some comedy nuggets in, and he was saying we should try and get Mia into some of our recordings. And so I'd coaxed Mia out of the shadows to come and join us, and it was when we did it was part of the Partners in Grind series, when Mia made an asteroid in the shape of Anubiz's head, and we managed to get a double episode of Mia, like just doing Mia stuff and us finding it hysterically funny. And then I did Mia a favour, and he wanted to do me a favour back, so I made him come on a video with me and do a thing. And then I did a favour for him, and he owed me a favour, and so he was asking me what favour to do, and I made him record Portal with me. And And that was when it was like, oh, Mia, it's just like, Mia is so interesting to watch and listen to. And so I coaxed him into sort of doing stuff. And so he's, and he's got an amazing voice. Absolutely. And Potato's saying that when he was new to the Nidd, he kind of just kept to himself and did art. And it was during the New Year live stream before Series 4, before Season 4 of Space Engineers. And Boris was like, hey, you want to play this game? And he basically fanboyed. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly how that feels, though. That it's the biggest thrill to just suddenly be sucked into, like when you're watching these people and when you go from being a passive member of the community to being an active member, when you're a bystander and then suddenly you're part of it, it's incredible. And he's saying, so Mary does have an amazing voice, and considering English isn't his first language, he's very, very entertaining. And I love the way that Mia uses his occasional stumbling over words, and his knowledge of English is so good that he can play with the differences between English and German, and he does it with me even when we're not online. So Digestive Dunker's saying, well, I've got to get some sleep now, see you good people tomorrow for Skyrim. I need to go to sleep as well, I've got a big day at work tomorrow. So I think we'll leave it here today. You now know my history, the Nidd's history, a brief history of time. Why I don't like arithmetic, but why I like partial differentiation, and many other things. And I thought I'd only pop in for half an hour just to explain why Mia wasn't here, but there you go. And at least we've got some cobalt for the base. So, yeah. It was Jesus Schlagende Ku Christus. Jesus Cow Slappy Christ. The thing I absolutely love about the Nidd group is that there is close to no toxic aura. Yeah, it's because it was precisely that Boris was trying to avoid. It's supposed to be a group that's open to. We're not in it to win it. There's a low level of competitiveness, and it's mostly about the comedy, and it tends to attract people who are not too serious about life, who are a bit more laid back, and maybe the oddballs and the social misfits and the people who don't quite fit into others. So anyway, so see you, Ian. Oh, and Diaphan, I'm just wrapping up. We're just about to call it a night, unfortunately. I've been talking for 2 hours, and all I've managed to do is mine about about 500 kilos of cobalt, and I've moved 5 blocks of my ship. Other than that, everybody's been keeping me talking. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night now, because I still haven't had any food and I need to get to bed and go to work tomorrow and all that sort of thing. But I'll be back again tomorrow at 8 p.m. GMT, which is, I think, about 2 p.m. Eastern. I might have got that wrong. No, I know my dildo still can't poop rocks yet. I need to fix that. Although I suppose when I do that, I really should do it on camera as part of the series anyway. I couldn't put all of this into a series. It's not really Space Engineers, it's just me chatting. 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, of course it is. 2 p.m. Central Time and 12 p.m. Pacific. Very good, thank you very much. And we'll do some Skyrim, and I shall be back making Mia cringe with every row. Anyway, calling it a night now, so thanks for watching, everybody. And Potato, thank you so much for the drawing. It is absolutely amazing. I love it. and I'll see if we'll get it. Well, actually, Mia will be. I'm expecting Mia will be back with us again tomorrow. I'll see if we can get it up on screen so everybody can see it. Yeah, got friends in America, always working at different times, all the different time zones. Right. Oh. Anyway, good night, everybody. See you soon. See you tomorrow.
There were 4 of them, all houses, together in Nidd Lane. Together lived Boris and Anubiz. Anubiz was always sorry about something. Next door came Minty and Nordic, and Minty really annoyed Nordic by calling him a beast all the time. And the next house was noisy, 'cause Apple and Melon always had domestics. But it was the 4th house that the police were interested in, because Power Suit Sal kept Mir in the closet. They all lived together in Nidd Lane, a colourful place to be. They all lived together in Nidd Lane, although together is a little bit subjective. At Boris's and Anubiz's, there was a man who could be sometimes mistaken for a hobo smelling of alcohol trying to climb the walls. But it's okay, 'cause it was Anubiz's Canadian cousin, drunk Spider-Man, and a little Santa's helper could be seen going house to house. It appeared when someone got tired of almond, they'd just hand them on to the next surrogate parents. They all lived together in Nidd Lane, a colourful place to be. They all lived together in Nidd Lane, although together is a little bit subjective. It seems they pissed off the neighbours, something to do with the Peel P50 dragon children, but that's just Boris. No one questions him, 'cause that's what happens in Nidd Lane.